Hey guys, so I was literally just squatting in the stables and I've ripped my trousers badly, and I was thinking probably shouldn't have worn such tight trousers on leg day, and it got me to thinking about business mistakes that I've made. So someone actually asked me the other day, they said, what's the biggest business mistakes you've made in your career? Like, what would you change if you did it all over and you started again? Now, mistakes, in my opinion, are good things. You learn, providing you learn from them. We should all make mistakes, but hopefully by giving you some insight into what I would class as my mistakes, and if I was to do it all again, how I would do it differently, I can give you some quick steps and things to avoid. So, firstly, one of the biggest mistakes I made was I built a very big e-commerce business by the time I was about 18. It was doing really well, and I got quite comfortable. And what happened was, I don't know if you've watched my backstories or anything like that, it ended up getting quite messy with my business partner, things being went awry. I won't go into details, but basically the fact that I was reliant on predominantly one main business nearly bankrupted me. I nearly lost my house, I nearly lost my cars, everything, and it knocked me back for about a year. Luckily I'm quite resilient and I'm quite quick to adapt, but since then I've diversified a lot. I now have multiple businesses, nearly 10 businesses in different industries, which has now actually enabled me obviously to withstand this COVID issue. And I've lost a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but the fact that I was diversified in different areas meant that something went wrong, or an income stream or a few income streams stopped. I didn't go bankrupt. I still had other income streams, some more diversification. So first business mistake was not diversifying early enough when I had the capital to do so. Quick caveat here is you don't want to be diversifying too early. You want to make sure you build a decent business first before you go jumping into other businesses and trying to build too many things too quickly. If you don't focus on one thing for long enough, it predominantly just won't survive. So you need to make something strong, and when you get to that point that it's strong enough, then start looking at another stream that's in a different industry that you're diversified. Second main thing was, second big mistake was not hiring early enough. I was a business operator for too long, and what that means is I was trying to do, you're not an entrepreneur until you hire people to do jobs within your business. I was trying to do everything in multiple businesses on my own, and what kept happening was I kept getting to a point where I was not able to surpass certain income levels, no matter how hard I tried. I would end up focusing too much on one business, and then the other one would start to fall back, and then I would end up earning the same amount no matter what I did. The trick was hiring, getting the right staff and the right people in place to enable me to focus on one thing while the other thing is still growing, and ultimately hire people that are better than you, i.e. Jake behind the camera right now is better than me at videography, so significantly better than me. So I can't video myself and edit myself at the same time as doing other businesses and everything else. So hire people to enable you to grow your businesses while you're not even there, or you're not focusing on them, and you can focus on other things and ultimately continue to grow while you're not focusing on one business, and that'll enable you to basically be very, very wealthy. I don't know anyone that's super wealthy that doesn't have a big team and support behind them. So hire early and make sure you've got the right kind of people. Third biggest mistake, nearly slipped again. It's quite slippy on this thing. I'm going to fall off the edge of here. Third, get a good accountant. One thing that I did for ages was like, oh, my accountant's fine. I'll be absolutely fine with my accountant every single year. I had crappy accountants that didn't go out of their way to try and help me save money or give me ideas about how to diversify my business or how to set up my businesses and what to do with them. And now I have an accountant that's fantastic. If you need a recommendation on that, drop me a message and I'll give you some pointers, or maybe even use my accountant. But now I have business structures and company structures that I can move money around legally. I don't ever want to do anything illegally with tax or anything like that. You should always make sure you pay taxes, but you need to have a reputable account that's got a good reputation with the government and the HMRC that can give you great advice. There's lots of things you can do with your accounts and to save money and also reinvest your money. It's not always about saving tax. It's about how can you put money back into it and enable the business to grow. Money is fuel, and if you don't have any, or you don't know how to use it properly, then ultimately you won't grow. So make sure you get a good accountant. What was my fourth point? Oh yeah, undercharging. I did this for years and years and years. Probably one of the biggest business mistakes. Well, it is top 5. Not charging enough for myself, and that came down to a confidence issue, I think, and also not knowing how to sell. Firstly, where the confidence comes in, I wasn't confident enough that the value I was giving to the people that I was pricing jobs for, i.e. website, marketing, goods and services, etc. I was always undercharging. And that was just a big part of that was I didn't think I could get away with charging more, or I didn't think I was giving enough value. And then as I've gotten older and I found people that kind of put me right and said, "Hey, you're massively undercharging for what you're doing. You're providing huge amounts of value. These people are earning tens of thousands of pounds for the work you're doing. You need to start charging more." And secondly, you need to learn how to sell. So when you're on the phone with someone, when you're pitching someone, it all comes down to how you basically pitch that value. If you don't know how to sell what your service or goods that you're providing, you'll always undercharge. So make sure that you're charging appropriately. And nearly every online coach that comes to me is undercharging. They're putting tremendous amounts of work and effort into their clients. They're getting them amazing results, life-changing results, yet charging pennies on the pound for what they should be charging. So get your prices right. Make sure that you learn how to sell your service properly. I'm not saying rip people off, but make sure that you're getting proportionately paid respective to the amount of value that you're giving. And fifth, get a mentor. Get a mentor early. I didn't do this early enough. I was very competitive. Always thought I could do it myself. I'm one of these guys at school that was like, I don't need help. I'm not asking anyone for help. I'm just going to try and figure it out on my own. And yes, I did. But if I could go back and do it all over again, first thing I'd put any money that I had, or I'd borrow money and find someone that was already doing what I'm trying to do, or was helping people doing what I'm trying to do, and bypass all the crap. Like having a good mentor. I have mentors now. I put a lot of money and time into finding mentors, and when I get them, I hold on to them. For example, I'm trying to now get involved into property building and take that to another level. So now I'm hiring and paying people to teach me a lot of money. And the same thing if you're a coach or you're doing anything else, find a mentor that can bypass and give you all these mistakes that I've just told you. I would have learned years ago had I got a mentor early on. And it was these mentors that have actually taught me this stuff about charging right, getting a good accountant, making sure that I was diversifying and had the right staff in place. All these things I've been taught since. And had I just got a mentor initially, would have just completely transformed me. I'd be a much wealthier person now for it. I don't regret those mistakes because now I've learned, but I could have got a mentor that taught me this stuff and made me a lot more money for a fraction of what I've kind of spent trying to find this stuff out on my own. So they're my 5 top tips. And the 6th, don't wear too tight trousers when you're squatting. Not good. Probably just getting a bit fat in lockdown, but I don't know, one or the other. But yeah. Hey guys, please subscribe, please hit the bell button, and if you have any questions, as always, drop me a message.